The air in the basement was thick with cigar smoke and the smell of desperation. 5 men sat around a heavy mahogany table, their faces tight with greed and anxiety. But it was the 6th chair that held the room's attention, occupied by something that simply did not belong. He called himself Jack. His purple suit was so frayed and worn it looked less like fabric and more like rotting skin peeling away from some unseen form. His face was a nightmare of smeared white grease paint, a stark canvas for a permanent, carved smile that twisted his features into a grotesque mask of joy. Jack didn't bother with a standard deck. His hands, gloved in stained white cotton, moved with an unnatural grace as he produced a single, obsidian black card from an inner pocket. It seemed to drink the light from the dim room. "This," Jack whispered, and his voice sounded like broken glass being ground under a heel, "is the Ace of Ends. Eliasa." A banker whose arrogance was as legendary as his fortune let out a short, dismissive laugh. "Enough with the theatrics. Just deal the cards, clown." He gestured impatiently, a fat gold ring glinting on his finger. Jack's smile didn't waver. It couldn't. With a flick of his wrist, he sent the card spinning. It didn't slide across the polished wood. It blurred through the air, vibrating with a low, dissonant hum that made your teeth ache. The card landed flat in front of Elias. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the ink on its surface began to move. The stylized image of a spade writhed and stretched, twisting itself into the shape of a skeletal hand, its bony fingers reaching out from the card's surface. Elias's laughter caught in his throat. He suddenly stopped breathing, his chest frozen. His skin, once flushed with drink and confidence, turned the exact shade of putrid gray as the card before him. He opened his mouth to scream, a silent, desperate "oh," but invisible black threads, like spiders silk spun from pure shadow, emerged from the ace and stitched his lips together. His eyes bulged with terror as he suffocated in complete silence, his body slumping forward onto the table. Panic erupted. The other 4 men scrambled back, their chairs crashing to the floor. They lunged for the door, but the heavy oak panel was gone. In its place was just a solid wall of damp weeping brick, as if the exit had never existed. Trapped, the realization hit them like a physical blow. Jack, still seated, simply chuckled, a dry, rattling sound. He began to shuffle the air itself, his hands moving through empty space, and with each pass, the faint outline of a card would appear and vanish. He stopped, his gloved fingers pinching something invisible. He pulled his hand back, and now he held a new card. The King of Blades. He didn't throw it, he didn't even flick it. He simply held it up and pointed it at the next victim. A burly man named Marcus who was hammering his fists against the brick wall. As Jack pointed, Marcus's own shadow on the wall deepened, writhed, and then sharpened. Real, solid steel blades sprouted from the darkness, piercing through Marcus from behind. He was impaled against the wall he was trying to break through, a human pincushion held up by his own terrified shadow. The remaining 3 men huddled together in a corner, their bravado completely shattered. They were rats in a cage, and the cat was just getting started. Jack's painted smile seemed to widen as he fanned an invisible deck in his hand. "Who's next?" he rasped, his voice a sickening melody of doom. "The Queen of Sorrows, perhaps. Or maybe the 10 of Whispers." He drew another card, holding it aloft. This one was different. It depicted a cracked mirror. He aimed it at a young man named Leo, who had inherited his father's dirty money. The card didn't fly. Its reflection simply appeared on the mirrored surface of a nearby cocktail shaker. Leo stared, mesmerized. From the reflection, a perfect double of himself began to crawl out. It was wet and pale, its movements jerky and wrong. The double stood up, its eyes empty voids, and reached for Leo. Leo screamed as his own hands, guided by his reflection, wrapped around his own throat, squeezing the life out of him. 2 men left. They were babbling, pleading, offering money, power, anything. Jack ignored them, a draw again the Jack of Hearts. But this heart was anatomical, clutched in a bird's talons. He presented the card to a portly politician, who immediately clutched his chest. The man's expensive suit began to strain at the seams. A horrific, sweat tearing sound filled the room as his ribcage burst outwards, his heart still beating, ripping free from his body and falling onto the floor with a sick thud. It pulsed twice more before lying still in a rapidly spreading pool of blood. Only one man remained. His name was Arthur, a quiet observer who had thought himself smarter than the rest. He was on his knees, not pleading, but staring at Jack with a strange, dawning comprehension. "What are you?" Arthur whispered, his voice trembling. Jack fanned the last of his ethereal deck. "I am the house," he replied, his voice losing its broken quality, becoming something deeper, older. "And the house always wins." He held up the final card. It was blank. Pure, featureless white. "This one," Jack said softly, "is for you. The Joker. The Void. The one who watched and did nothing." The white card began to glow, its light consuming everything. Arthur shielded his eyes, but the light wasn't just outside him. It was inside him, erasing him. His memories, his name, his very existence were being unwritten. The smoke, the table, the bodies, the basement itself all dissolved into the featureless, silent white. In the end, there was nothing. No card, no game, no players, not even the memory of a basement where 5 desperate men made their final, fatal bet. There was only the void and the faint, lingering echo of a carved, permanent smile. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from the shadows.